and a very warm welcome to Political Economy with Shweta Punj. Our guest today is a young political dynast who is working hard to carve his own niche and legacy. He's a dynast who has been in the headlines for all the right reasons. He is somewhat rewriting the code of governance. He wants to pitch Andhra Pradesh to be the next UAE or Singapore. So big ambitions there. In fact, his Padyatra played an instrumental role in bringing TDP back into power in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Nara Lokesh, Minister of Information Technology, Human Resources, Communications and Real-Time Governance. Lokesh, thank you so much for joining us. That's a huge portfolio you've got there. And clearly you are a busy man. And I have to dive in straight into the first big story that we're going to be talking about. Google's investment into Andhra Pradesh, 88,000 crores in the next 3 years. And, you've been talking about pitching Vizag as an AI city. Tell us some more about, what went behind the scenes in convincing Google to come on board? Because there is a lot of competition. You have competition with Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. There are other states that promise also an ecosystem, which is where talent is concerned, where a supply chain is concerned. Yeah. So what went into convincing Google into coming and investing in Andhra Pradesh?
Well, in Andhra Pradesh, we have a double-engine bullet train.
Okay.
So if you look at it, it's been a great relationship between the state government and the central government. We are able to not only provide best-in-class incentives, but we're also able to help in terms of creating policies and any changes that is required at the central government level.
Okay.
So we are able to lead these conversations from the front. So if you look at it, our first meeting with Google was way back in September 2024.
Okay.
Where I hosted them in Visakhapatnam over lunch, drove them down personally to show them where they can do their data center. And then I followed it up with my visit to their HQ and continued our conversations at the central government level, got a lot of clarity on various points. And then here we are, a year later, grounding India's largest FDI investment ever.
India's largest FDI investment ever since liberalization.
Absolutely.
So that's quite an accomplishment. What are the key things that Google has asked for when it comes to you? What are the terms of engagement that have been discussed and agreed upon?
So if you look at it from an incentive package, end of the day, every state is competing and we are going to compete on the incentive package in that sense. But what got us talking even more is the changes that is required at the central government level, at the policy level interventions, right?
Interesting.
How would you define permanent establishment? How do you look at data that comes in, gets processed and then goes out? How do you look at data embassies? So these were the questions that we were able to answer, which no other state was able to answer. Because again, in Andhra, we have a double-engine bullet train working.
So what are the changes that we can expect coming in from the center? Where the changes that you've promised Google, the double-engine bullet train, what are the changes that we can hope going forward to enable this investment to come and really be a transformative effect, not only for Andhra Pradesh but even for India?
One, if you look at it as a political establishment, we are a regional political party, but we have the nation at heart. So we always work in the interest of our nation. And Mr. Naidu has always done it in the past. If you look at privatization of airports, telecom deregulation, he's done that bit. We are doing it all over again with data. Right. And if you look at, lawful interception versus a data embassy. So these were things that we were able to work through. And, ensuring that there's no retrospective taxation that will ever get hit in this particular space.
Okay.
So these were things, or across spaces.
And how about data storage?
That is there.
Okay.
That already exists. So that states already have power. But the question was, suppose I'm working on data that is X country. The data is just coming in, getting processed here using AI, ML, or various other technologies, and then gets exported out.
Right.
Now, how does taxation apply on it? How does lawful interception apply on it? So these were questions that we had to answer, which is not only in the interest of Andhra Pradesh, but in the interest of nation. And we were able to resolve these issues.
Interesting.
And that, I believe, will help India.
And the data stays in Andhra Pradesh or does it go back to the parent company?
Data, it depends on which data we're talking about.
Okay.
Is it Indian data or is it a data which is a sovereign
Sure.
data of other country.
Sure. Yeah.
So it depends on which data it is.
Okay. And for
And
Indian data, it stays.
It's going to stay here.
It stays in
It
India.
stays here.
Okay. So a lot of modalities must have been.
Lot of nuances, lot of
Yeah.
back and forth. But the way Google and Andhra Pradesh approach this conversation is to be honest with each other. We said, okay, this is the problem statement. Let's go solve this problem statement. And then, of course, this is enabling us to bring in greater investments into the sector across the nation.
You've also, somewhat pioneered this whole 99 paise development model. So is that what is the land that's been given to Google also, with that token amount of 99 paise?
Actually, not.
Okay. Is it for completely free or?
No. So
No.
it's at a certain market price that was mutually agreed upon.
Okay.
But then our 99 paise model is now being delivered through a policy called the LIFT policy.
Right. Yes.
We are one of the very first states to pioneer it. And if I'm right, we are the only state that still has a trademark on it.
Sure.
And that's enabled us to attract investments.
Okay.
So if you look at it, it's not, and again, land is one component of it. But what we have is amazing talent pool. If you look at the global IT space, people from the two Telugu speaking space, states have a role to play in it.
Right.
So that's where I believe we have the right talent, we have the right ecosystem, and now we have the speed of doing business.
So I want to talk to you a little bit more about that, the speed of ease of doing business. I think that's a big red flag for a lot of states in the country. That's a big concern that's raised by a lot of investors. But Andhra Pradesh seems to have cracked that code. When it comes to really rolling out the red carpet, you all announce it and then it's done. Boom, it's done. How are you doing it? What is the rule book that you're following? Maybe it's an example for other states to follow as well.
Well, it's called Naidu 4.0. We have the best version of Mr. Naidu and his government now. See, one of it is, if you look at it politically, right, 50% of our MLAs are first-timers. 17 out of the 25 ministers are first-timers. So what we bring is raw energy, passion to solve problems. And once we shake hands with any company, saying, okay, let's look at Andhra and say, okay, this is the investment. It no longer is their project, it becomes our project. Together, we are in it together. And first thing that gets done is a WhatsApp group gets created.
Really?
Where the chairman of that company is on the WhatsApp group. And as a minister, I'm on that group. And on a weekly basis, my chief of staff updates the project from the Andhra's perspective, government perspective. And the company's team also updates. And if it goes mute for about 10 days, then reminders actually come from me. I ask, okay, what's the status of this project? And it happened in one instance. I said, okay, I haven't heard from you. It's been 10 days. What's going on?
So how many WhatsApp groups do you have running on your...
That's the trade secret. I won't be sharing it.
Hundreds, thousands?
I spend considerable amount of time on WhatsApp.
What's the screen time that you spend on your phone?
On WhatsApp, close to 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yes.
And are you downloading Atra now?
I have Atra.
Okay.
Yes, I already have it.
So now next batch of groups, is it going to be on Atra?
It's going to be on Atra, of course.
It's going to be on Atra. Okay. I have to ask you about... as India pitches itself as a big data center, AP is doing it as well. How are you going to balance concerns regarding electricity and water? Because these are concerns that have emerged across the world. As we do know that data centers take up a lot of power and water is a precious resource for India. How are you ensuring that you strike the right balance, specifically in Andhra Pradesh, where you're really pitching Andhra Pradesh as a data destination, as an AI destination?
Great question. If you look at it as a state, we believe low cost of energy can be a competitive advantage. So if you look at it as a state, we've promoted renewable energies at a big scale, at a gigawatt scale. We've signed with Tata, we've signed with Renew. Greenco is a homegrown company. And it's not just about solar and wind. We're doing the PSP, pump storage projects also. We're doing battery energy storage systems. And there's always going to be a base load that has to come from thermal. So we're actively going and doing these tenders out there to look at who's going to give thermal at the lowest cost possible. And with this proper mix and being efficient in the way we approach this problem, we were able to reduce power prices by 13 paise, 1-3.
Across the state?
Across the state. Okay. And we are, if I'm right, we're one of the very few or only state who's done it. So it's just about being more efficient. It's about managing your grid a lot more efficiently. That's what. Coming to water, we have Godavari, which is surplus, and we are doing a massive project to bring Godavari waters all the way to South Andhra. So from North Andhra all the way down to South Andhra, and it's the interlinking of rivers, as we would always say. It's been a dream for India. No one's been able to achieve it, but Mr. Naidu is sort of leading that project from the front. So we should harness all this water, which otherwise goes waste during our rainy season. So that's where we're looking at even water security. So while other countries, if I may, have looked at data center as an extension and using the existing grid, we are talking about building an entire ecosystem for data centers.
Because Ireland has actually put a moratorium on more data centers.
And few countries have done that. I believe that India should not do it, and India should sort of split the grid into two, if I may. And say, okay, data center, this is the way we are going to do it, and this is the kind of energy that we're going to do it from.
Okay.
So Andhra is perfect in that sense. So we have wind, we have solar, we have the pump storage projects that are coming about, a bit of thermal in the mix.
Okay, so is that a format that you're looking at? A separate grid for the data centers?
Absolutely.
Okay, any assessments on how much, what will it really cost for the state, for the exchequer actually, because that's what ultimately happens, that power prices go up, and that's where the discontentment comes in.
One, power prices will not go up.
Okay.
That is a guarantee.
Okay.
Two, the grid, there are investments being also made by Google. And then part of it is going to be subsidized by the state.
Okay.
So again, it's a win-win.
Okay. How many jobs are we really talking about, and what are the timelines that Google is working with?
Well,
in this
3 years to execute the first gigawatt. We have few other players who are also investing. SIFI, we just broke ground yesterday, 500 megawatts coming on stream. Every gigawatt typically creates about 200,000 jobs, direct and indirect. So that's the kind of ecosystem that's going to get built out.
So in the next 3 years, we're looking at 200,000 jobs.
Well, my mandate is, the mandate given to me by the Honorable Chief Minister is to create 500,000 jobs in the IT sector in the next 3.5 years.
Okay. Somewhere one gets a bit of a deja vu, because we've seen Mr. Chandrababu Naidu do this with Hyderabad, right? And now we see this happening with Vizag and Amravati.
Yeah.
Does it ever occur to you, or does it concern you that maybe some mistakes of the past should not be repeated? How are you ensuring that you take all of Andhra Pradesh along with you? How are you going to ensure that the rural areas do not feel left behind this AI data-driven growth approach that you've taken?
It's about balancing welfare and development. And as a political party, we've always been focused on both. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. And I believe that's part of every political journey in that sense. But this time around, we're focused also on agriculture, on aquaculture, and then AI, all the way up to AI. Now, let me give you an example of this. We have a SIPB, which is the State Investment Promotion Board, where we discuss all the companies, the incentives, and so on and so forth. In one of the meetings, in the recent meeting, I came across a company which is mushroom processing. And the food, the secretary in charge of food processing stated that 90% of mushrooms supplied to the globe comes from one country, and it's China. And then it was a light bulb moment. I'm like, now what can Andhra do in mushroom? So exactly 12 hours later, we had a 3-page note, a research note ready. We went to the Chief Minister to have a green light from him. He said, done, industry should lead this, bring everyone together. So like what we've done in aqua, we're going to do that all over again in mushroom. So we call it the mushroom mission.
Okay. So,
Andhra, we have an aspiration to grow from $188 billion to being a $2.4 trillion economy by 2047. If we have to achieve this, we need to go across sectors. And agriculture will play a very important role.
So what are the sectors? One is agriculture.
Agriculture, across sectors. Industry is going to be big, services is going to be big. Every sector. Tourism is important for us.
So what are the lessons that you've taken from your father, from Mr. Naidu, to ensure that those same mistakes are not repeated this time around?
Win an election every cycle. It's very important to convince people on the importance of continuity of government. Because people did see good work done between 14 and 19.
Right.
But then a person comes and says, I can do even better. And then people are like, okay, let me give him a chance.
Correct.
And then we've seen 5 years of bad governance, and people have repented. And that's why they gave us 94% mandate.
Right.
Right. And we are, a lot of humility we're now working with that mandate. And so it's like, we have to create the jobs. Because honestly, everyone has well-educated children at home. And they're all asking me the single question, where are the jobs?
Where are the jobs? Absolutely.
The other day, we had a scheme where we are financially supporting auto drivers. So when we launched the scheme, and I was in an auto driven by women. And I asked her, I said, no, how many kids do you have? And what is the ask that you have from the government? She said, I have 2 kids, just get them jobs. So the writing on the wall is very clear, create jobs.
Create jobs.
And then jobs are going to get created across sectors. It could be tourism, agriculture, services, blue collar, manufacturing.
Is skilling a challenge in the state, as Google raised this as a concern, or other MNCs who might be looking? Because there is an overarching concern in India that we do not have the skills of the future. Is that a concern in Andhra Pradesh, and how are you looking at addressing it?
No, skilling, it's not an India problem. It's a global problem. Every country is going through this pain point. But what I'm doing in Andhra, because skills also comes under my ministry, and the way we're doing it is we have now created a portal of trying to figure out not just matching supply and demand, which few portals do that. We're not only doing that, we're also looking at the skill intervention to be done.
Okay.
So what is the skill upgradation to be done? What are the sectors where this upgradation should happen? That is one. Second is what I call clusterization. This is very, very important. So how can I create the entire ecosystem of manufacturing of a certain sector in 100-kilometer radius? So let's take an example.
Centers of excellence.
Manufacturing.
Manufacturing
Centers of,
excellence,
exactly. So let's take electronics as an example. Right? Now, a mobile phone. There's a housing, there's a screen, there's a camera module, there's a camera lens, there's a battery. Then there's a box, the retail box, the manual, the accessories. Everything should be within 100-kilometer radius. I call this verticals. Right. Now let's talk about horizontal. That's where skilling. Workforce that's ready to look at assembly, manufacturing.
Absolutely.
Testing facilities. So we're doing this in air conditioning. 50% of India's air conditioners come from Andhra Pradesh. And it's going to go up to 70% with the new investments made. So I met with all of them. And we're now discussing on how can we do all the testing, the certification that happens in Europe and different parts of the world actually happening in Andhra Pradesh. And they themselves are adopting a few ITIs and polytechnics. And they are giving us the curriculum and saying, boss, just implement this. So we're working very closely with the industry. So one is this portal, which we call Naipunyam, which is going to get launched around November.
Okay.
And the other part is the entire clusterization. I believe that these two will have a clear
Tell me a little bit about the role of the private sector in this whole skilling initiative. For instance, will Google be skilling some people according to their... Is that part of the agreement, the skilling?
Absolutely.
And is that something that you are asking the private sector to factor in when they come to invest or set up in Andhra Pradesh?
Absolutely. I'm actually asking the private sector to tell me, like if you take IT, right? Where's the next wave of jobs going to get created? Which part of AI? What is the role of quantum computing in this entire ecosystem? And then what can we do as a state in augmenting it?
Okay.
And that's how we're working closely with the private sector. And air conditioning, I just shared an example.
Yeah.
We are doing this with electronics. We're doing this with compressed biogas. We're doing this with Kia already. And then medical devices manufacturing, pharma.
Okay.
So we're already working with the titans of the industry in these sectors. On skilling and building out the entire ecosystem.
Okay. What are the other global companies that you are in talks with? After Google, which other big name can we expect?
Well, ArcelorMittal, I think we've already announced.
Yeah.
Again, India's largest steel plant is coming to Andhra Pradesh. And a few other companies are already having discussions, and you will hear every month there'll be...
In the tech space, is it...
Tech, agriculture, manufacturing, tourism.
Okay.
You'll get a lot of news from Andhra soon.
That we have been getting.
On a monthly basis.
We've been getting on a weekly basis, which is what I started the show by saying, that you've been in the headlines for all the good reasons, which in a way is a good thing. I want to talk to you about your 99 Paise model of development. TCS gets land in the state with 99 Paise. Cognizant has got it. Does it ever concern you that the narrative might just turn and some political parties might just hit you with this whole "Soot Boot Ki Sarkar" jibe that was leveled against the Modi government also. Does it concern you?
What concerns me is creating jobs, jobs, and more jobs. And my straight question to anyone who asks me this, saying, why are you giving it at 99 paise? 25,000 IT jobs, right? The kind of economic impact it has on that region is massive. And that is the reason I have a very clear policy for it. And a few of them have actually gone to the court and challenged it, and the court didn't even admit it. They said, I'm not going to give a stay. No way. Because what is wrong in giving TCS? What is wrong in giving Cognizant? I'm not giving it to my friends or family.
Right.
These are
But
companies
you're
with a lot of
sure that the
reputation.
jobs will be created. You're
Absolutely.
You're
These
sure
are all, these are all marquee names in their own sectors. And whatever commitments they've made, they've always delivered on. And this policy, the lift policy, is aimed at attracting the Fortune 500 companies who have a clear track record of creating economic value and creating jobs. And this is part of the agreement. It's part of the agreement on which the land is given to these companies.
Okay, all right. I want to, talk to you about the love fest that you have with Mr. Priyank Kharge of Karnataka. You are constantly, there's this, exchange of words and this whole battle that we see play out on social media platforms. You constantly call out Bangalore for its pothole roads and so on. Why such a confrontational approach with Karnataka?
I'm competing with every state possible. I'm competing for every rupee that we can attract in terms of investment. Again, as I said, my agenda is creating jobs, jobs and more jobs. With that, I will compete. And if citizens are complaining about certain cities that are not living up to their promise, then I think I have a right to attract that investment to Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
So what is wrong? I keep saying I'm on the better side of the other states.
Indeed, you do keep saying that. So have any of the Bengaluru firms taken up on your offer?
Well, you will hear that soon.
Well, you can announce it right here.
No. We are in the process, and I think it's unfair that I jumped the gun. I think it should be an announcement that we do together.
Sure. So, what is it that you are offering? Why Amravati, for instance, and why not Bengaluru? Bengaluru has an ecosystem. It has the culture. Amravati is still a city in progress.
Absolutely. No, I think it's a great question. One, you have a government that's willing to listen, that's willing to work with companies, build the entire ecosystem.
Mr. Kharge is not willing to listen.
Well, he has a challenge, but end of the day, the companies that have invested in Karnataka and few other states are willing to listen. And that's why they're coming and investing in Andhra Pradesh. Because again, I've been pitching this entire theme of clusterization. And let's go build clusters together. And this is what we've done. We've done this with Kia. In fact, I would invite all of them to actually see that. The kind of ecosystem that we've built in Anantapur, which I keep saying is on the better side of Bangalore, because we have great roads, 24-hour power. But look at the kind of ecosystem. We went out. The shopping centers, the Korean shopping marts are there. The Korean restaurants are there. And the incentive that we've given is not just for Kia, but the entire ancillaries of Kia. And we've built a world-class ecosystem now in automotive manufacturing. In a district which was one of India's most backward districts. The per capita income has grown by 5-fold in the last close to now, 7-8 years since Kia started. 9% of Kia's global manufacturing comes from Anantapur. So, ecosystems are here and we will build it.
Okay.
And we can do it ground up in a much more organized and disciplined manner.
Do you find it a challenge, Lokesh, to pitch a developing state such as yours against the more established states like the likes of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka? Tamil Nadu has announced today that Foxconn will be investing about 15,000 crores in the state. How much of a challenge is that for you? Because like I said, Amravati is still work in progress. You're working, you're trying to rebuild the state and you're up against formidable competition.
Well, competition is good. When states compete, India wins. As simple as that. And we've attracted $120 billion worth of investments in the first 17 months of what I call the double engine bullet train.
Yes.
I mean, we have that kind of energy.
Is there a bullet train also coming to Andhra Pradesh?
Absolutely, we're working on it.
Okay.
Because we have strategically, from a geography perspective, we play a very important role in connecting all the major metros. That's why if you look at the industrial corridors also, majority of them actually go through Andhra Pradesh. So you have a role to play. So states should compete. And I believe that brings the best out of us. And that's why we got $120 billion worth of investment. India's largest steel plant is coming in Andhra Pradesh. The single largest FDI investment ever is coming to Andhra Pradesh. TCS, Cognizant, a few other players.
So I just, want to go back to what Mr. Kharge has said. Mr. Kharge has actually compared Andhra Pradesh's efforts to attract investment to the desperate scavenging of a weaker ecosystem. That's what he called Andhra Pradesh. How do you feel about it? Because somewhere this competition is taking a bit of a, I think, vindictive turn of events. It's very good. It makes for great headlines for us. But how do you feel about it? Priyank Kharge talking about AP like that, calling Andhra Pradesh a parasite, pretty much.
Well, that's why we got Google, ArcelorMittal, a few other projects now going. We got LG, we got Skyroot landing in Andhra Pradesh. If this is called scavenging, so be it. $120 billion worth of investment in the first 17 months and more to follow. So we are up for the challenge. But I believe competition is good. It makes us fitter, sharper, keep our hand in the game, makes us grounded. In every investment that I lose to the neighboring state is one investment less in Andhra, and I go back to my team and say, where did we go wrong? What are the mistakes? How can we learn from it?
Did you have that conversation about Foxconn? Going
Who
to
said
Tamil
India,
Nadu?
Andhra has lost Foxconn?
Well, they went to Tamil Nadu. I'm not saying you've lost Foxconn, but are they also coming to Andhra?
Well, you will know it soon.
I would like to read into that statement, thinking that Foxconn is setting up in Andhra.
We are having conversations.
You're having conversations.
We're having conversations.
I also want to talk to you about the bullet train that you referred to. That the state is designed. I mean, the way it is, geography is such that a bullet train would work very well. So, are those talks also in advanced stages?
Yes, we had the Honorable Chief Minister is talking to Ashwini ji and looking at how can we integrate between Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Calcutta.
Okay.
And we have an entire ecosystem that can be built out. So that's what we are having. That's the kind of conversations that we are having.
And what are the timelines that you're working with?
Again, it's too early.
Okay.
I think let the conversations move forward, and then I'm sure I'll come back to you with clear timelines.
Okay, you have spoken about that. Your aim is to compete with countries like Singapore and the UAE. What are the timelines that you're working with over there? Because you mentioned that you want to make Andhra Pradesh a $3 trillion economy.
$2.4 trillion economy by 2047.
2047. So, what are the timelines that you're working with here?
Well, we are always in a hurry. We believe that reforms should have happened yesterday. So if you look at it, one of the challenges that I got from Government of India is labor reforms. They said, these are the reforms that we want states to do, and would Andhra be willing to do? Except one, we got everything done in 15 days, 1-5. So that's the pace at which we are working.
So which is the one that's pending?
There's one which has something to do with conflict resolution.
Okay.
So that's something that we believe requires a greater dialogue with everyone involved. But I'm sure the next cabinet, which will happen in the next 15 days, will bring it to that cabinet. So we are fast. We are aggressive. We believe that reforms are very good. It creates a very competitive environment, and we can deliver on the speed of doing business. Our promise. We are the only state that offers 700 citizen to government or business to government services on a single WhatsApp number. 700. It's called Manamitra, and we've done this in 17 months.
And it's working
It
efficiently.
works fantastic. It works exceptionally well. From paying your current bill to getting your certificates, darshan, the whole 9 yards is on a single number.
And how many people call on that number?
It's a WhatsApp number. So close to about, on a weekly basis, close to 500,000 people interact with government.
500,000 people
500,000
access
people.
that service
On a weekly basis.
Every week.
Every week. So we are bold. We are willing to do such reforms. So that is what makes Andhra Pradesh very unique and competitive.
And labor reforms, you said that you've already implemented them.
Yes. Women in workforce, ability for women to work longer hours and lesser number of days. So
Right.
the total number of hours they work in a week does not change. But then in manufacturing, because they come and they're there, they're willing to work longer, but we don't have the enabling environment. And reforms like looking at your Factories Act. There's this interesting thing where you have to whitewash the toilet door in a factory every so many weeks or months.
Yeah.
It's arcane.
Yeah.
And so these are the kind of changes that we are willing to do at the state level, getting rid of all these regulations.
So was there no resistance from the trade unions in the state?
We're very collaborative. And again, it's all about creating more and more jobs. And we were able to get
You managed to convince them.
We were able to convince
because labor reforms is something that a lot of states are struggling with actually.
And that's why companies should come invest in Andhra Pradesh.
Of course. Is that something that you say? How many times do you say that in a day?
Well, depending on the calls that I have, but I'm always ABC, always be closing.
Okay, nearly a quarter of the total H-1B visa holders are from the Telugu-speaking states, right? And with the changes that we are seeing now in the H-1B visa regime, what's the impact that you see on Andhra Pradesh, on people, their aspirations from your state who would be, who were thinking of going outside to work?
No, I mean, crisis is an opportunity. And that's the approach Mr. Naidu has always taken. And today, if you look at the way we're going about attracting investments in the IT sector, in the GCC space, we're very aggressive. And we believe that now time has come for brain gain. India is no longer just about cost arbitrage. It's about knowledge. It's about talent. If you look at the GCCs that are already in India, the kind of product and services they're offering is for the globe. It's not just for the US. So I believe a lot more can be done. And GCCs have a very important role to play. And that's where if states have their head in the game and do it right, and there's brain gain to be delivered.
So what's the plan over there? I mean, are you expecting some professionals to come back? How are you planning to tap into this opportunity?
Well, the entire GCC ecosystem that we're building, the AI-based data centers that are now coming up in Visakhapatnam, and then of course proactive marketing and ABC always be closing. So that is also enabling us to do this.
So any numbers on how many professionals are you expecting to come back, or
it's too premature.
Any state estimate?
That's too premature. I think we all of us are trying to understand it better. But then whoever comes back, we have to be ready. And I believe again, crisis is an opportunity for us to do better.
Also, the timing, of this move of Google coming into India. This happens amidst when there is a lot of rhetoric, especially in the US, for US companies to come and invest anywhere, and even India, because we've seen the way Trump has spoken about it. Did Mr. Trump's rhetoric concern you when the negotiations were going on with Google? Did it ever, occur to you that maybe this might not come through? Did this hang like a dark cloud over the conversations and over the negotiations that you were having with Google or any other MNCs who are looking at expanding into India?
I mean, that always is there. It's lingering in my mind, saying what if is always there. But then you have to be positive. You have to be an optimist. You're going in, and whatever policies you're doing, it's important for the nation. And that's been our approach from day one. Okay, let's be honest with each other. Let's figure this out together. And that's why we were able to land this entire project in Visakhapatnam.
But did this feature in the conversations that you had with Google?
We did not.
Did they raise any concern, or did they talk about it? That no.
No.
Okay, that's good. That's heartening to hear. I want to now talk to you about state finances. There's a lot that's happening in Andhra Pradesh, but it's also facing a significant amount of debt and high interest payments. So, how are you going to ensure that as you pitch yourself to be a high growth state, you also follow fiscal discipline?
No, I see, end of the day, a balance of welfare and development is going to be very, very important. Both work together. And only when both go together, the state can go forward. And that's been our approach from day one. And we've been balancing it quite well. So our capital expenditure is also gone up compared to last 5 years of bad governance. So that's been our approach, attracting investments, creating jobs. It kickstarts the entire economic engine. And if you look at it, just before GST 2.0, if I may, came in, we were growing, GST receipts are growing at 20% year on year. So we are on this high growth trajectory.
Okay.
So huge investments coming in, economic engine getting revived. Then once economic engine gets cranks up and moves on, then I'm sure servicing debt won't be any problem for us.
Any timeline that you're working with in this, in terms of some more?
Well, managing debt is always an ongoing effort for any state or any nation to that order. And I believe investing in capital expenditure is going to be very critical. And that's what we are doing.
Yeah.
And creating, kickstarting the entire economic engine is going to be critical. And we've just started that.
Okay. And any specific projects and investments that are being fast tracked to ensure that that we see a faster turnaround, because a lot of these are long term projects, but any short term projects that you're working on where one could see quicker returns.
I mean, GCCs is a great example. Investments in IT is a great example in the IT sector. Renewable energy is a great example, how we've attracted investments in that set. Manufacturing is again something that we are doubling down. Ports, fishing harbors is again a big area for us. It's a great focus area for us. Agriculture is a big area. Diversification of agriculture. Being number one, we aspire to be number one in horticulture. So we have a clear trajectory. So we want to be a $2.4 trillion economy. We have to grow at 15% CAGR.
Okay.
We know growth rate of each sector, like how much they should contribute for us to deliver that growth rate.
Okay.
And then we're going about it very systematically in delivering that.
And you said that CapEx has gone up.
Yeah.
But in terms of the ratio of CapEx versus welfare, do we see the gap reducing significantly, or because welfare southern states are very good at their welfare schemes, I have to say that, and Andhra Pradesh is no different, but the gap has been quite substantially wide in terms of spending on capital expenditure versus welfare. Do we see that gap reducing?
It will. So welfare will continue. I'm not saying we're going to cut back on welfare just yet, because it's important to carry the poor along, to give them not just a financial handout, but pull them out of the cycle of poverty. And that is for us of great interest as a state. And parallelly, investing in capital. So in projects like ports, roads, we're going to power sector, bring about next generation reforms in that sector. And again, the various opportunities. We can do it under a hybrid annuity model. We can do it under PPP. So the various models out there where we can involve the private sector to kickstart capital investment in the state. And I believe both will go together, welfare and development.
Okay. I want to talk to you about the relationship with Prime Minister Modi and the centre. First, the centre. TDP is a very crucial party. It's a crucial ally for the BJP. It's also their footprint into an area of the country where their presence is not as formidable as it is in the north. How would you describe that relationship? Would you say it's a relationship of equals, or is it a relationship where sometimes you feel like an important ally, but then there are times that you have to pander to the government at the center?
See, if you look at our support, it's always been unconditional. So we entered NDA before 2024 unconditionally. We've continued to support NDA unconditionally. We might have an opinion on certain regulations, certain policy, but we'll have that conversation among the four walls. End of it, again, I believe whatever decision that TDP takes, it's always in the interest of the nation. So any inputs from a policy perspective has always been in the interest of the nation. Mr. Naidu has done it in his first term as CM, second, third, fourth term, now the fourth term as CM. He's always, all the policies that he's supported have always come in the interest of India. So he's always kept India at heart.
So, there could be certain big policies where the TDP might have a different view from the center. For instance, I just want to get your thoughts on the caste census, for instance, what the opposition has been talking about, Jitni Abadi Utna Hak. What are your views on it?
No, see, we've had difference of opinion on the Waqf bill. That is why it went to JPC.
Right.
As a political party, we had our inputs into the JPC and they were incorporated in the bill. So we are going to play a very important role. We are going to give feedback. And to be fair, BJP has been an amazing partner where they're willing to listen. They're willing to hear us out. And they're willing to take that feedback and make the bill better if required. So it's not like I've come up with this bill, you have to support us.
Okay, that's not the approach, because that's something that the BJP has been accused of.
Absolutely not. I think that's very unfair. I think that's very unfair. That, opposition parties are saying this. But in our case, it's not been the case. We've had our opinions, but again, as I said, we'll express it amongst the four walls and we'll find ways where we can give our input and incorporate it.
So you feel heard in this alliance.
It's not just about being heard. We are partners together in building the country.
Okay.
And that's always been our approach.
So you feel like an equal partner in this
Absolutely.
relationship. Okay. I also want to talk to you about your relationship with Prime Minister Modi. Some of your moments on stage have been captured on cameras, and it's created quite a buzz in Delhi. He patted your back. He refers to you as Bhai Lokesh. Tell me a little bit more about this relationship, because it's an unlikely relationship. You're much younger, he's much older. One would think that he is right, and I'm sure he has great regard for your father, Mr. Naidu, and their relationship goes back several decades. But you have carved your own path with the Prime Minister. Tell us a little bit more about, how has this relationship blossomed into what it is today?
No, I think I'm the luckiest person in India because I have two great mentors. One is my leader, Mr. Naidu, and second is the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. I'm just lucky in that sense. And, the Honorable Prime Minister has always been very inspiring. So when I had the opportunity to meet with him one-on-one, and he's given me time and he's answered all the questions that I had. Because as a youngster, I had like a list of questions that I went up to him. And,
About what? About TDP? About...
No, about just him. How is he so motivated? Because look at it. He was a chief minister and then his third term as prime minister. But look at the energy he has.
That's right.
And the way he works day in, day out. The kind of sense of purpose that he has. So there were questions around it. Questions about his discipline, the way his hard work. I had quite a few questions, almost 2 hours worth of questions that I had. And I walked out inspired. And he was kind enough to host my family. So I went there with my wife, with my son. Sir was kind enough to give me that time. And my wife is a second generation entrepreneur. She came back inspired. And she said, together we should work harder in our own ways. Politics for me, business for her, to contribute to the nation. So the Honorable Prime Minister has this in him. He can inspire a generation of leaders.
Anything that he has said that has stayed with you in that conversation?
Quite a bit. See, one of the things I asked him, I said, once you become a chief minister or a prime minister, you tend to get cut off from the ground reality. So my question was, how do you stay connected, sir? Like, how do you hear? It was amazing. He said, 100, he gets quite a few letters as a prime minister. His office they bring in 100 letters, which are unopened. And every day he picks up 10 of them. And he opens it and he reads it personally. And that's the way he hears he has his ear to the ground. He understands the nuances of India, of Bharat. And that's why I believe he's such an amazingly successful prime minister. As a youngster, that's something I should learn. And I use WhatsApp as a tool.
You use WhatsApp?
I use WhatsApp.
Not letters, WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
You also did a Padyatra, which played a very instrumental role in bringing TDP back to power. What were your key learnings in that Padyatra? What are people really looking for? What motivates people? Any insights that you can share?
What India is looking for today is jobs, and more jobs. Because everyone is spending money, getting the child well educated, but then they're looking for opportunities. Right? So creating jobs should be the singular focus with which states should now work, or governments should work. And that's going to be very, very critical. And I remember this when I was walking in one village. That was the end of that day. After that was my night, where I would camp at the night. So I saw this lady making bondas. And I just sat next to her and I was asking her this question. I said, how many years have you been here? She said, 30 years.
Selling bondas.
So I said, what do you expect from the government? She said, 30 years I've been doing this. I've been saving every rupee. I have 2 kids. I'm getting them well educated. I lost my husband to alcohol. So as a government, if you can do me a big favor, is get them jobs. And that is why the first promise we made to the people of Andhra Pradesh is in 5 years, we'll create 20 lakh jobs, 2 million jobs. And we're going about it very systematically, doing this across sectors. And that's why I'm competing with every state in India to attract investments and create jobs.
So you said creating 20 lakh jobs. That could also translate into government hiring more people. Is that something that is, as part of your strategy? Or these 20 lakh jobs are going to be created by the private sector?
Both.
Okay.
See, in the government, it's going to be need-based. So if you look at it, teachers, I'm the HRD minister.
Right, yeah.
Like the first decision we took was to hire 16,000 teachers. Because I believe that primary education is critical. And having one class, one teacher is very, very important. So when I took charge, only 3% of the schools had one class, one teacher. Now close to 30% of the schools have one class, one teacher. But then there's still 70% gap.
Right.
But I need to manage this slowly. That's one part. The job calendar which I promised. Starting from next year, we're going to release that. Filling up vacancies in government. Because there are vacancies.
How many vacancies are there? Would you have a number?
We are still working on that for the next job calendar.
Okay.
So we're looking at how do we phase it in. Because there are also finances, right? State finances involved. So we have to balance this. But we're going to create. Because there are vacancies in Group 1, Group 2. And we said we're going to do a job calendar every year. We're going to do DSC, which is a teacher notification, every year. Because we're going to have retirements. But parallelly, we're going to create jobs in the private sector. So compressed biogas, manufacturing, IT, agriculture, horticulture, aqua, across sectors we're creating jobs now.
So as income levels go up, the welfareism of the state will also remain, or do we see that reducing? Because it's very difficult to roll back policies. When you give something free, you cannot take it back. And your welfare bill might have been, it's been expanding. So how are you going to drive that balance?
See, as a nation, it's very important to bridge the gap between have and have-nots. If you look at it globally, what's happened with liberalization is that there's extreme wealth creation. So there's extreme poverty, even in developed countries. Homeless in the US is a big problem. I've seen it in California.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It's a huge challenge, right? Then governments have to have their ears to the ground. So it's very unfair to say that I'm going to cut back on welfareism. The mode might change.
Sure.
So it might be more to do with housing. Right? It might be in a different form. But I believe welfare will be there. It's a very unfair to say that we'll cut back on welfare. I mean, look at it. Look at US today. They support agriculture. Soybean, corn, subsidies are massive.
Right.
So there's a role that the government will continue to have. But it will be in a different form. That's what I believe.
Okay. You spoke about the double-engine bullet train, the relationship between the center and the state. I want to get a sense from you, because we keep hearing things in Delhi on Andhra Pradesh is asking for this, Andhra Pradesh is asking for, a big relief package and so on. I want to get a sense from you on, what is it, how much financial assistance are you asking from the center? What is the kind of help that you want from the center to rebuild the state?
If you look at it, the bifurcation of the state is something that the people of Andhra Pradesh never wanted. They never asked for it. But they were bifurcated. They had no capital. They had no economic powerhouse. We had 5 years, the first 5 years of Mr. Naidu, after the bifurcation. We got in a lot of investments. The economic cycle restarted. Things were going well. Then change of government happened. Right? Extreme welfareism with no development. And that really hurt us. Economically, we've had challenges. Today, we are now working with Government of India on balancing both welfare and development. So welfare is there. I'm not saying that we've cut back on welfare. We're continuing it, but we're also putting money behind development. We're getting a lot of investments. So yes, we will ask for what we believe is rightfully ours in the bifurcation bill, what was there. Parallelly, we are willing to champion the initiatives of the Honorable Prime Minister in spirit.
Okay.
That's very, very important. Because even the central government is looking for states that are willing to move fast, that are willing to be aggressive in terms of attracting investments. And Andhra Pradesh is one such state that's willing to do that.
So you've asked for the center to relax the borrowing limit for Andhra Pradesh?
No, we've asked on various other areas. So in capital expenditure, the various other schemes. So we're looking at how can Andhra sort of fit into it, and how can projects of Andhra, like the priority of Andhra Pradesh, like horticulture is a great example of it. How can central government assist us in becoming number one in horticulture? So it could be the cold chain linkage, it could be diversification of crop, it could be creating centers of excellence. Like dates is a great example, dragon fruit, chiku. Right? There's great examples like that. A mushroom is another great example. So this is the kind of work we're working on. It's not just about we want money, give us cash. No. We're looking at various Government of India schemes that we can tap in. I'll tell you another great example is the quantum mission. Right.
Yes,
so Government of India has been talking about quantum mission.
Right.
Money is there, but no state was tapping into it. Andhra said we are game. We'll build South Asia's first quantum valley And we're doing it in Amravati. India's first 158 qubit computer is coming to Amravati in Jan. So there's this amazing schemes out there.
Okay.
All we are saying is that we are willing to lead from the front. We want to tap into these funds and create a vibrant ecosystem that will enable us to grow. Please support us. And Government of India is more than eager because no other state is doing it. Because quantum computing, no other state, no other chief minister ever spoke about it.
Right.
And here is Mr. Naidu, who's leading the entire quantum revolution from the front.
You have a great relationship with the center. You have a great relationship with the Prime Minister. Do we see you taking on a larger role in your state? There has been a growing chorus for you to become the Deputy CM. Is that something that we can expect to see Nara Lokesh?
I have a lot already on my plate.
You already do have a lot.
I
I
have a lot.
agree.
I'm in
I
quite
had
a
a
few
hard time
GOMs.
memorizing all your portfolios. So yes, that's right. But
I'm really excited bringing about change in education. I believe that is the greatest tool and the single best tool to pull people out of poverty. Transforming of curriculum, gender sensitivity, we're working at different levels. It's been an exciting journey so far. And I believe it's just the beginning. We have a lot more to do. And I believe we should create a model of education that we can make India proud. And that's what excites me.
you can still do that while being Deputy CM.
That's merely a title. If you want to do good, there are 100 ways of doing it. You don't need, to be a Deputy CM or XYZ. You want to do good. I'm already a minister, and Mr. Naidu enables his minister to take bold decisions. It's not just Lokesh, it's anyone in the ministry. They can take bold decisions. And we're willing to do that. I've brought in quite a bit of changes in the education sector in the last 17 months, and I'm sure next year results will be far better than the last year.
Well, you are, one of the few dynasts in recent times who's really been able to carve a niche for himself. And you grew up under, the tall leadership of Mr. Chandrababu Naidu. How was it growing up with him? Does it daunt you? Does it overwhelm you that you are his son?
No, I mean, I believe I have a great mentor who I can lean back on whenever I have any ideas or if I have any doubts. And as a chief minister, I mean, he's probably one of the best chief ministers that a minister can have. And this is something we echo as ministers. All of us share that. Because he creates an environment where we can be collaborative. He's willing to listen. He's willing to take feedback. He's willing to guide us. If we make mistakes, he's willing to forgive us.
Is he very democratic or is
Absolutely.
But that's not what you hear of strong leaders, right?
No, in the cabinet, outside the cabinet, he's very democratic. He's willing to listen. And I mean, he's had greatest of highs and the lowest lows. Right? His highs have been amazing and the lows have been quite challenging.
Right.
And he's always been resilient. And the reason for that is that he's very democratic. He's willing to listen. He's willing to learn. So yes, I mean, on one hand, it is challenging to have a father like him.
Yeah.
Because he has a larger than life image. But then I keep telling my team and myself that, that's a person worth challenging. I should work 10 times harder than him.
So,
that's what I believe we can.
Patriarchs have this whole attitude, right? One, they don't want to give way. They don't want to give space. It's not only in politics, it's also in business. It's everywhere. That is because once you build something on your own, it's I think very difficult to trust another person, that the other person will be able to do an equally better job. But is that sense of, how do I call it, patriarchy very, very strong when it comes to Mr. Naidu as well? Because that's a complaint that I hear of a lot of next generation leaders, that they feel too controlled by their leader. And I know maybe you will not announce this, but
but I'll give you the problem statement of Andhra, right? So 50% of the MLAs are first timers. 17 out of the 25 ministers are first timers. So we are missiles. But then you need a GPS to guide us properly, to land in the right place. Otherwise, we'll be self-destructive.
Right.
So Mr. Naidu might be 75-year-old man, but he comes with a 25-year-old heart and energy.
Okay.
So he has these amazing ideas and he's willing to lead from the front. So it's inspiring, it's motivating. And all the ministers are like, we keep talking before cabinet, after cabinet, like, damn, how come we didn't get this idea? POSCO idea. How can we do better? So we love competing with him. And I believe it brings the best out of us. So I mean, he's fit, he's aggressive,
Yeah.
He has amazing ideas, and I believe that it brings the best out of all of us. So, as
When
long
was
as
the
he has the
last
energy, we are
time?
willing to support him
When was the last time you had a disagreement with him?
on a daily basis.
And then how do you resolve that?
No, that's the beauty of Mr. Naidu. Either I convince him or he convinces me. He's a very democratic person. He doesn't want to be surrounded by yes boss people. Absolutely not. He loves people who challenge his ideas or people who are willing to be honest with him.
That's great to hear. We'll do a bit of a rapid fire now. I'll give
Ready.
you one word, and I'm looking forward to your responses. Delimitation.
Important, good for the country.
Okay. Zoho.
Oh, amazing company. And I admire the founders.
Okay. GST 2.0.
Great for the country. It's going to kickstart the entire ecosystem, and I believe manufacturing will gain a lot.
Nepotism.
Overplayed.
Dynasty politics.
Why are politicians always criticized? When a doctor's child can be a doctor, or an engineer's child can be an engineer. What is wrong in a politician's child being a politician? End of the day, I believe that surname only opens the door. But then whether you have the right to be in that room or not, people decide. Yeah. And in 2019, I lost an election. I contested in a seat that TDP has not won since 1985.
Right.
And I lost.
36 years. After that, you...
Yes, I lost with 5,300 votes. But then I worked hard at it for 5 years. And I won it with 91,000 majority, which was one of the highest ever in Andhra's history.
Right.
So people decide whether the person belongs in the room or should be out.
Fair enough. Rahul Gandhi.
Wait and watch.
Wait and watch. Andhra Pradesh.
Will lead India from the front.
Okay. Delhi.
Interesting place. Yet to figure it out.
Yet to figure it out.
Because this is coming from a gully politician.
Indian politics.
Amazing. Exciting. It will lead the way for the world.
Okay, that's very optimistic. Donald Trump.
Wait, why do you say very optimistic?
Well,
look at the politics globally and look at the kind of leadership India has, the kind of stability we have, the kind of clarity of thought, the kind of policies that India is able to make. Today, India no longer figures out in the risk while investing, while other developed countries are figuring out in the risk profile.
No,
we are leading the way, and I believe we have amazing next generation leadership that is getting groomed at this juncture. I think a lot of amazing work is going to happen, and India will be a $30 trillion economy by 2047.
Well, more power to you for saying that, and I believe it. I believe it wholeheartedly. But politics, clean politics, is a bit of an oxymoron, not only in India but across the world, which is why I said that.
Well, I think policies have to come for it. We've been probably the only regional party that said we should get rid of even 500 and 200 rupee note. Look at Mr. Naidu's press meet dating back to 2013. He's stood by his word. And even today, when I've been the Honorable Prime Minister, I was an advocate about it. Because today we have UPI. We have a homegrown, amazing product that no other country on this planet has. It works seamless. And today if I go to any store and I give a 500 rupee bill, they don't have change for it.
They don't have change.
So why do you need a 500 and 200 when you have UPI? Right? And that will reduce political spending. I believe in that.
So have you pitched this idea to the Prime Minister?
I pitch it to everyone possible.
Okay.
I pitch it to every other regional party leader also. Because I believe it's very important for the nation.
Donald Trump.
Interesting times.
No, you've got to say something more than interesting times.
Interesting times. Or uncertain times.
All right. Who do you admire, and this is my last question to you, who do you admire in politics? A state chief minister and a central government leader, barring your father?
That's a tough one.
You can't name family in this.
Well, family apart, Mr. Naidu has been an inspiration for a generation, for generations. Right?
Absolutely.
It's very difficult when you're born. Again, as I said, I'm the luckiest person on this planet to have two great mentors. And you said leaders, right? At the state level, it would be Mr. Naidu. Because day in, day out, it's such an inspiring conversation. I flew with him to Delhi today. and the kind of ideas that he had, and the way we are working with him. The sense of urgency is amazing. And then, of course, the Honorable Prime Minister at the federal level, at the central government level. Just the way he's willing to challenge you. And then once you deliver, he loves to challenge you even more. Where else would he get this? And this is that's why I believe India can do it. And we have the right mix of leadership at the state and central level. And we can recreate history.
Absolutely. Well, I completely believe that too, that this is India's time. And I do hope that, whatever we are hoping for and aspiring for, we put in the work to really make it happen. My last question, everyone's been announcing on X that they're switching to Zoho. Is that something that the AP government will also be doing? Or have you already done?
We've already got onto the messaging platform.
Okay.
Right? We've already done that. And others we're going to explore. And look at how we are already on NIC platform. We're already Swadesh.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Lokesh.
Thank you, sir.
Lovely
Thanks for
chatting
having
with
me.
you. And I wish you the very best. We do hope to see great things out of Andhra Pradesh. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And a big thank you to all our viewers for tuning in. Do tell us what you thought of this interview in the comment section below. Thank you.